Hi, green lovers. Today I have been busy prepping some of my garden beds for the upcoming spring season. So I've got 4 beds here, and basically what I am doing, this is one that is unprepped, so you can kind of see how they started off. They're covered in oak leaves. I've got a big, huge oak tree that shades out this entire garden, so it doesn't get very much sun. I can only plant things that tolerate shade, like broccoli and lettuce and that kind of thing. Look at that arugula. That arugula seems to be enjoying this spot. And then I've planted some cover crops here, so these are all radishes. But this is one that I did yesterday, and all I did was I pulled out all of the weeds and greens and cover crops, and I just put a layer of compost over the whole thing, roughly about 2 inches of compost. I also sprinkled a bit of organic fertilizer over the entire bed, and I'm going to let it sit for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so whenever I'm ready to plant. But that way it has time to settle down a little bit. The fertilizer has some time to sort of blend in with the organic material. I'll be watering it regularly, even though there are no plants. And that really is it. I do not dig the bed. I do not want to disturb the life under the soil that has been growing, all of that beautiful mycorrhizal fungi, the earthworms. I don't want to touch any of that, so I'll just cover it with a layer of compost and some fertilizer, and that's about it. Here's another bed, and this one I couldn't do the entire bed because, as you can see, here are my garlics. Look at how beautifully they're growing. So all I did was kind of put some compost around the garlic and just let it be in place. It was covered in oak leaves. I'm gonna have to put some of those oak leaves back because I want to keep the moisture in the soil. But yeah, garlic seems to be liking the spot, and it's going to have this spot for, gosh, another 6-8 months, however long it takes for the bulbs to form. Just a little tip about garlic. What I've got here is 2 different kinds. The ones on the front side are garlic that I actually bought, seed garlic. It's a garlic called Enchelium Red, and at the back here I've got garlic that I picked up from Costco. And what I did was I picked the largest bulbs and I put them in the soil. Now, garlic is one of those crops that you want to put the biggest and best back into the earth in order to get the biggest and best bulbs next season. You can also plant the little inner parts, but they will grow just flimsy, leaves, which you can use to, like chives, to sprinkle on various things, various meals. Over here, I've got some, I think it's called Shengiku chrysanthemum. It's edible chrysanthemum, and I let it be because it's not growing very fast. I had to actually pull out a whole bunch of broccoli that I had growing around this garlic because it was getting really big and taking away from the nutrition as well as the sunlight. So I pulled it all out. Over here you can see some little tiny broccoli plants. Now, broccoli is one of those challenging plants to grow. I usually harvest the leaves. I don't get very much broccoli, at least last year I did not. But this year I'm trying again. It's called Gypsy Hybrid. That's the broccoli, and I hear it grows well in California, so let's see how it does. These are flowering chrysanthemums that I've got here, and here's some kale. This was planted in fall of last year and it still seems to be growing, so I'm gonna leave it. It's red Russian kale. So that's it. That's what this side of my garden is looking like at this time of year.